Seems like Helldivers 2 has been making a lot of waves on social media as of late. And this is a game that came out back in February, and it's a game that is one of the more popular video games of 2024 right now. And at this rate, this game might eventually end up becoming or a candidate for one of the best video games of 2024, depending on who you ask. Since its release back in February, the game managed to reach over 8 million in terms of sales, and it managed to earn more than 210 million in terms of revenue. And keep in mind that this is a game that was published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, developed by Arrowhead Game Studios, and despite its success, it's something that has gotten a little bit of controversy as of late because Sony tried to do some shady mess where they required players to have a PlayStation Network account in order to, I guess, play, Helldivers 2. And honestly, like the reviews for like Steam basically took a huge bomb after that because at one point it was like overwhelmingly positive and then it became very negative. And basically after Sony attempted to do that, they decided to, scale back on that and said that this is only, temporary. And it said beginning on I guess like the end of like May, it wasn't going to be moving forward or anything like that. And honestly, stuff like that is something that drives people away from like modern day gaming, all these, these extra, added unnecessary requirements in order to play certain video games, whether it be microtransactions, whether it be having an account that you're probably not going to use. Stuff like that kind of makes the gameplay it makes the gaming experience for people very difficult, and people really don't like that. Back in the day, like during the 80s, 90s, 2000s, um, gaming was very basic, very simple. Um, you had gaming companies that put out the best video game that they possibly could, and it was loaded with contents where I guess the replay value was high, and it's something you can enjoy for like a year or two before I guess another installment within its series comes out or whatever. Nowadays, it seems like a lot of video game companies and corporations have hidden agendas and stuff like that. But in Sony's case, I do feel that the whole extra added security measure thing was a bit necessary, especially considering what happened with the Wolverine game. Like, Sony Interactive Entertainment was working on a Wolverine game, and it got hacked, and I think a lot of the data got like stolen and held ransom. And this was a couple of months ago, I believe. And because of that, I kind of get Sony, uh, trying to add an extra layer of security for those who want to play their video games. But the thing is, like, Helldivers 2 is already out, and I don't think Sony would have to worry about the same thing happening with that particular game. You know what I mean? I mean, it's out, it's gotten really good reviews. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. And obviously, like that whole thing where I guess like players on Steam needed a PlayStation account to play. It's something that backfired on them, and as a result, Sony had to change things. And nowadays, like the landscape of gaming is really different, and this goes to show just that because. Like more so than ever, it's like the consumers, the players, they're in control. If they dislike something, they'll voice their displeasure online, on social media, and pretty much their opinion, the opinion of the majority, seems to have an effect on a lot of things, on the quality of the game, the tactics that video game companies use to promote their game, or I guess added features that they try to include in video games, which could have either a good or detrimental, effect on the game itself. So, it's a good thing that I guess Sony decided to scale back on that, and the game has only been out for like 3 months or something like that. Um, it's going to be insane to see how well Helldivers 2 does in terms of sales before the year is over, how much money it makes before the year is over, and whether or not this ends up being a candidate for best video game of the year in relation to 2024.